new Mortal Kombat's coming out soon, and if that gives us another chance to talk about how much we love the series, we're gonna. So sit down, shut up, and let's get our Mortal Kombat love fest on. Hey, I'm Stuttering Craig for Screw Attack's Top 10 Mortal Kombat characters.
Number 10. Johnny Cage.
This guy is a douchebag, we realize that. But Johnny Cage is the kind of douchebag you only wish you could be. With a limitless supply of sunglasses, his name tattooed on his own chest, a successful career as a film actor, and the ability to punch your head off not once, but 3 times, there is no way Johnny Cage could not make it on our list. Plus, who talks like this?
And I'm taking you down, I'm taking you down, I'm taking you out, I'm taking you out, and I'm taking you out for dinner.
Such a stud.
Number 9.
The Mortal Kombat series has a penchant for extreme violence, but it was the huge amount of secrets in the early games that gave it its sort of legendary status across arcades. Some who played Mortal Kombat 1 claimed there was this mysterious third green ninja in addition to Scorpion and Sub-Zero that would randomly show up from time to time. That, children, is our boy Reptile. So many rumors flew around arcades as to how you could actually fight him, it was just ridiculous. And if you actually saw someone fighting against him, that person immediately became local legend. And when you could actually play as him in Mortal Kombat 2 and go invisible, that was just icing on the cake. And for the record, we prefer him as a ninja and not as a, well, reptile.
Number 8.
Speaking of MK lore, you may think Blaze from the more recent 3D entries is a pretty lame character, but you gotta know the full story behind him to truly appreciate him. Go back and pop in MK2 and fight on the Pit 2 level. Take a look at the background. See that poor guy on fire? Well, of course you do. That's what made the stage awesome. Well, it wouldn't be Mortal Kombat if there wasn't rumors as to how you could actually play as him, and wouldn't you know it, the devs eventually made this dude into his own character. He was given his own name, Blaze, obviously, came back as a boss in Armageddon, and was a playable character in Deadly Alliance. Pretty neat, right? And that is what makes MK, MK.
Number 7.
Kenshi doesn't need the ability to see you to mercilessly end your life. He uses his highly developed sense of hearing to detect you, then his katana and psychic powers in combat. We generally aren't too big on the most recent characters in the newer games, but we'll admit that Kenshi is pretty damn cool. You would think that a blind guy slashing a sword everywhere would only be a recipe for disaster and only hit someone by pure luck, but it's like we say, he's not handicapped, he's handy capable.
Number 6.
The ratio of robots to ninjas in Mortal Kombat by tradition has been precisely several to a crap ton. Doing his best to keep that ratio as low as possible is Cyrax. He used to be a ninja like the other robots, but was forcibly transformed into a bot by the leader of his clan. And I'd say it worked out pretty nice for him. Now he can shoot nets and bombs out of his chest, making him one of the cheapest dudes in Mortal Kombat 3.
Number 5.
Cyrax may have done the world a favor by becoming a robot instead of a ninja, but Smoke has only been a robot. Sometimes. With Scorpion's harpoon and Reptile's invisibility, this is one ninja you do not want to screw with. Unless he's a robot. Or maybe especially when he's a robot. I don't know. But what I do know is that Smoke is special because he's the only character in the entire series who is both a ninja and a robot. Robo Sub-Zero. That's dumb.
Number 4. I am Shao Kahn.
Donning the skull of some poor sucker who was stupid enough to face him, Shao Kahn will taunt you while fighting.
Is that your best?
That's awesome. He literally laughs at you when you lose, and you fight him on top of a freaking mountain. And when he loses, he turns into stone and explodes. Probably because he wants to take the victory away from you. God, he's cool.
Number 3.
Shang Tsung may have been the boss in the original Mortal Kombat, but we all know Goro was the real beast. This four-arm freak was such an evil stud, he would beat your ass by flexing. And who really needs 4 hands? Goro sure doesn't. Hell, the dude throws his extras at you. And check that out. They have green fire behind him. Throw in the fact that he's got his own lair he lives in with skeletons and freaky glowing eyes of who knows God what in the background. This guy is beyond legendary. Motaro? Kentaro? Just the retarded half-brother of Goro. I know that you know exactly who the top 2 entrants are, and if I reveal number 2 right now, it's only going to spoil number 1. So, with that said, let's get a recap on. Number 10, Johnny Cage. Number 9, Reptile. Number 8, Blaze. Number 7, Kenshi. Number 6, Cyrax. Number 5, Smoke. Number 4, Shao Kahn. And number 3, Goro. So who's number 2 and 1? No matter what is said from this point on, people are gonna be pissed. But which fighter is number 1? Scorpion is well known for his skull face, using fire in battle, and of course, his spear that pulls you from afar. But then, you really need to consider Sub-Zero, his mortal enemy. Not only does he freeze opponents from across the screen, but considering fatalities are a hallmark of Mortal Kombat, we named Sub-Zero's spine rip the number 1 fatality of all time. It essentially created the ESRB. How can you top that? Well, it's not easy, but consider that in the arcades where Mortal Kombat first gained notoriety, you were either or
Get over here!
Nearly 2 decades later, it's hard to argue that gamers aren't a bit desensitized by Sub-Zero's fatality, but Scorpion effectively gave the MK series the closest thing to a tagline it's ever had. Get over here! We're gonna argue that that saying leaves such a different impression than a rating board. It's the kind that sticks with you in a good way, rather than the kind that slaps a bold-faced letter on video game boxes and heavily impacts the availability of the games in the first place. I'm looking at you, Australia. Like I said, this is not an easy call, but at the end of the day, we have to go with Scorpion as the number 1 MK combatant ever. That's combatant with a K, by the way. Flame shields up!